Welcome to our Dynamics Discovery Day presentation, where we take you through how you can reimagine your productivity and insight not only with Microsoft Dynamics 365, but with the connectivity and power of the Microsoft platform. It's Microsoft's mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And that's exactly what they're doing with Dynamics 365. First, we are going to look at today's Dynamics platform and the power of data. We know that Microsoft offers full functionality across several operational areas. The Dynamics 365 suite of applications are just the beginning. Whether it be financials, retail, or field service, your operational systems can all be connected. What is important these days is creating digital feedback loops. The entire enterprise needs to get connected, and the data has to be related, whether it's people, products, customers, or operations. With Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform, business applications have been redefined to make them modern, modular, extensible, and AI-driven. This enables them to come together and ensures that your data as a resource is not captive to any one system. All of this together makes Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform the world's connected business cloud. Microsoft's Common Data Service brings together data from across not only your ERP and CRM, like most solutions, but from across your business application suite, making it far more connected than most systems. Whether it be information from Office 365, Dynamics 365, or data contained in Azure, Microsoft can bring this all together, all in one place. Microsoft's interoperability with other applications is also paramount. Common Data Service can include data from Office 365, Dynamics 365, and Azure services. If you're using CRM, you can connect to your ERP, all on the Azure platform. It also allows you to take advantage of Azure services such as AI and machine learning. So now we're going to have a look at Dynamics 365 ERPs, how they can connect with your CRM, how you can utilize information in Office 365 and in particular Outlook, and then we'll have a look at the Azure services and some of the artificial intelligence that is now embedded within the solution. So the first thing we're going to have a look at is how your ERP can interact with Office applications such as Outlook. You can see here that I've got a fairly standard request for a copy of an invoice from a customer. But what's interesting here is that it's recognized my customer's email address as a contact in my ERP and returned the customer record. Over on the right-hand side here, I can see all of the outstanding information in relation to the customer. I can even view some of their sales statistics from CRM. If I wanted to find the invoice, I've got a couple of options. I can drill down on the outstanding balance and I can search, which will return the invoice to me. The other alternative is to use the hyperlink that's appeared in the email. So what this has done here is not only recognize the customer, it's also recognized this document number as belonging to them and inserted a hyperlink into the email for me. From that, I can open up the document view and I can view the invoice quickly, and I can also send it back to my customer, all without leaving my inbox or even the email that they sent me. The next thing we're going to have a look at is another request from the same customer. They've also asked for a request for a quote for 2 blue chairs. So not only can I view information in Business Central from within my Outlook inbox, I can also interact with it. So here what's happened is it's actually read my email, noticed that it was 2 blue chairs that were being requested, and has suggested a couple of items to be included on the quote. I'm going to select the Tokyo guest chair and accept that suggestion. So what it's now done is it's placed that line item on a quote for me for this customer. I can pop out the window to give me a little bit more room to work with. And what I can do here is review the quote before I send it back to my customer via email. So what I've got come up here is an email body template. I could customize this message, but I've also got an attachment PDF that's going to be forwarded to them with all the quote information. Next, we're going to go and have a look within Business Central itself. So that customer has contacted me and said that they wanted to go ahead with the quote. So I'm going to go and have a look at my customer record. I could inquire on the quote in many fashions. I could look at my outstanding quotes, or I can go directly to the customer to see the information. What's also interesting here is I've also got those sales statistics that I mentioned before. I can drill down on these from within my ERP and view the information that's located in CRM. If I wanted to know more information about these cases, I could click on the link to Dynamics 365 Sales, and it will go directly into the case and open it up with all the detail. I'm going to go back to Business Central, just close down those case links and have a look at the quote we just created. So I've now got this sales quote that's sitting open for my customer that was created from Outlook. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add a line item, which will all make sense later in the demonstration when we have a look at Microsoft Flow. From here, I'm then going to make that an order. Whilst we're in our ERP, let's go and have a look at some of the Azure AI functions that have been incorporated. If we go back to our homepage, what we can see easily here is sales invoices that are predicted to be overdue. So what's happening here is it's using artificial intelligence to analyze the patterns of how my customers actually pay me. So it can predict if a customer is going to pay me late based on their history. I might want to then action those before they become a problem. I can also do things such as look at a sales and inventory forecast for a particular item. Here I've got my item. If I scroll down into the fact box, I can see that the forecast for this item is to be negative stock after a little while. I can also have a look at not only the inventory balance forecast, I can have a look at the sales forecast and what I'm predicted to sell. All of this information is based on history that runs through the Azure AI service and returns the result for me. Based on this forecast, I might decide that I want to create a purchase order, have a look at my sales forecast or any other forecast settings as well. Where artificial intelligence can also be of benefit is in forecasting your cash flows. What it can do is it can have a look at the history and the way that payments are made and receipts are taken by your organisation. So it can look at the historical information and predict and adjust your cash flow forecast accordingly. These are just some of the things that Azure AI is capable of. So what we have just seen is how your Dynamics 365 ERP can integrate with your Office 365. You can view information from your CRM within your ERP, and how Azure services can assist in predicting everyday activities and allow you to take action. The Dynamics 365 and Power Platform really brings everything together using the common data service. Utilizing data across Office 365, Dynamics 365, and Azure services. The CDS enables the Power Platform to utilize the data for fast business functionality and process changes, information and process automation, and insights from internal and external sources. Flow automates the workflow across applications that use the common data service. It can automate repetitive tasks by collecting, synchronizing, and sending data and receiving notifications based on events or triggers. Power Apps lets you build business applications that run in a browser, on a phone or tablet. Power Apps combines visual drag and drop concepts with Excel-like expressions for logic and working with data that no coding experience is required to build an app. Power Apps can also utilize Flow. Power BI is a suite of business analytics tools that can analyze data from hundreds of data sources that are available via Azure services and can provide deep insights into organizations and the markets within they operate. The Power Platform is embedded with Microsoft Dynamics 365. Now we're going to have a look at a demonstration of Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. So once again, we are going to start within Outlook. Now you'll recall how I entered an additional line item on the sales order that we recently processed. That was in order to trigger a flow to alert me to when that sales order was processed. You can see here that I've got information for the customer of School of Fine Art, and I've also got a hyperlink to the sales order that will take me into the document view, like we saw a little earlier. This is all triggered by a flow event. If I go in to have a look at my flows, I can create a new flow. From a template, to be automated or instant, I'm going to go for an automated one. I'll give my flow a name, which would be new customer, because what I want to do here is create a notification every time a new customer is added. For the triggers, I'm going to search for Business Central when a record is created and click on Create. I get to select the company it is that I'm using. I also get to select the tables, and in this case it will be customers. I can create a new step here, have a look for the Business Central steps that are available, and the action I want to do here is get that record. So every time it's created, I want to get that record so I can send some of the information from the record out in an email as a notification. You'll start seeing here that it links through to the database. And the final step would be to send an email. And what I can do here is start adding any information from that customer record to the body of the email. I can specify who it goes to, what the subject is, and any other information that I want. So it's quite easy to create flows, such as their name and maybe the state that they're in. I'm just going to set this to send to myself with a subject of new customer and save it. And it's that easy to create a flow. What we're going to have a look at next is a Power App for a site inspection. I'm going to create a new site inspection with the title of New Inspection. Any other notes or descriptions that I might want to put on there. I can also add photos directly from my camera, which will be recorded with it. I can also have links through to things such as GPS to determine my current location, or I can simply enter my address and save the record. If I go back to the site inspection summary page, you'll now see that that new inspection is displayed. We can also use Power Apps for things such as a new vendor request. We'll go and have a look at another example. Here I've got a new vendor request displayed as a mobile Power App. I can provide some basic information about the form that I'm using. I can ask some simple questions like, why is a new vendor required? Because they're a friend of mine. What expense category is applicable? Office services. And what's the annual spend with the vendor? You'll see here that I've got a nice little slider. This is more just to demonstrate the type of things that you can add to a Power App. I can also ask whether a similar supplier exists and have conditional information come up based on my responses. I can also enter in things such as the vendor name, all of the information that I would need to be able to create that vendor in my ERP. I'm just going to choose the microchannel as a vendor and click on Next. So now what's happened is that has saved that information and transferred it into my ERP. Let's now go and have a look at Business Central, where that record has been created. So if we go and have a look at our vendors within Business Central, we've got a new record here for microchannel, which I may then want to run through an approval process to gather any other information that I need. The next thing we're going to consider is your Dynamics 365 data in the cloud. We often get asked about Microsoft Azure and the security and privacy that can be offered with the cloud. You can rest assured that it is secure, it is private, it is compliant with all relevant legislations, and it is transparent. All of this information can be viewed at the Microsoft Trust Center. Not only is Microsoft Azure secure and compliant, it is also readily available globally. You'll notice that there are 4 data centers in Australia, Southeast alone. What Microsoft can also offer with Azure is high availability and disaster recovery, with geo-replication every 5 seconds for your ERP and every 15 minutes for your CRM. Your transaction logs and backups are taken every 5 minutes, and you'll automatically retain your backups for 14 days for Business Central, 28 days for CRM, and 35 days for finance and operations. Microsoft also offer a 99.9% uptime guarantee with their service level agreement. One of the other questions we're frequently asked is, well, how many updates will I need to go through once I'm on the cloud? You'll get between 2 and 8 updates a year. There'll be 2 major releases, which is Wave 1 and Wave 2, which happen in April and October. But there will be other technical updates and small updates that will be rolled out throughout the course of the year. What you can also do with updates is continue to use standard D365. You can add on things through AppSource that have been developed by Microsoft partners and ISVs. You can also develop specific extensions relevant and unique to your business. One of the good things about being on the cloud is that you will receive proactive warnings from Microsoft if any of your extensions are to be broken as part of a new update. Talking about ISVs on AppSource, several of our current partners already have their apps available, like LS Retail with their retail solution, or Signups Xflow for accounts payable automation, BI360, which is a business intelligence tool that can sit across all the applications, and things like Sana for e-commerce. What we're going to have a look at is just jump back into our ERP and show you how easy it is to find these things on AppSource. So for example, I want to search for mobile WMS. I want a mobile warehouse management system, so I just search in the help of my ERP for topics and things that might be related to that. You'll see here that not only do I get all of the documentation available from Microsoft, but I also get the results from AppSource. And I can see here that I've got a few options for mobile WMS, and I'm just going to click on the first one, which takes me to the offering by Tasklet Factory, which is one of our partners. I can then review the product, have a look at what it offers, and decide whether it's right for my business. I can also search AppSource directly if I know what it is that I'm looking for. So for example, if I wanted to look for click dimensions, I can simply type it in the search bar and search for it directly, and it will return the record to me. There is also a wealth of other information that is available in relation to the Dynamics 365 suite of products. From your help menus and your support menus, you can readily find answers in the community, online help, or any other information that's around capabilities that are coming soon or what's just been released. So if I have a look at the capabilities that are coming soon, you'll see not only is it showing it specific for Business Central, but it will show all of the Dynamics 365 applications. That concludes our presentation for our Dynamics 365 Discovery Day. Thank you for watching.